Hi, I'm Natsu. Welcome to my Critter Corner. I'm recording this all cozy wozy in my bed right now while my girlfriend's coughing her lungs out. Um, so bear with me. So for today's video, I'm trying to do a week in the life of a pet keeper, and this is a pretty accurate visual of what my week's plans looks like. Not because I'm unemployed, believe me, I am very employed, but because I don't ever have a plan. So here I'm checking up on my Pac-Man frog Leska, who usually looks like this. Marvel at her beauty, please. She's beautiful, isn't she? Well, too bad because she disintegrated into a pile of dirt. That was a joke. She did not disintegrate. I'm being sarcastic. Anyway, I usually check their water bowls at this time, and it looks pristine, it looks beautiful. So me and the dogs are going to check Kittlebee's enclosure. Kittleby is usually messing up his plants, so I always check the plant first because, well, he's usually in there. And he was not in there today, so good because I tried to get him not to mess up his plants. And here you can find Kittleby, isn't he beautiful? I'll put a visual of what he looks like, usually. And that water bowl is a no-no, as I keep gesturing here. I know it looks like my fingers waggling for no reason, but there is a reason. So I grabbed the frog water bottle and then traversed through my teeny tiny little apartment to the sink. Come on, Natsu, walk faster. Come on. There we go. And then I get the Brita because I live in a city and city water is not very good for frogs, so I always use the Brita just in case. I also use the Brita for my human water too. And I just pour it in there, and this is not very exciting, so I'll just skip this part. Blah, 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 blah. So here I'm just pouring in the Reptisafe. You only need like a drop or two for like something this small, but I just like put a squirt in because I can't really control it. I do care about my frogs, but I don't care about conserving Reptisafe. Sue me. But yeah, I basically pour that into the water bowl until all the dirt's washed out. Usually like once a week I scrub these two with like a paper towel. Um, And yeah, that's pretty much what I do for Kittleby. This is the Belcher's Froggy Mansion. It's a 2x2x4 grow tent, and look at how cool it is. Oh my god. And you'll see the very cute Belchers. These are my White's tree frogs. By the way, Kittlebee's a Pac-Man frog. I can't believe I forgot to do that. But yeah, that's Tina. The big fat one is Tina. And I need to do this water bowl too. Eventually I find Jean. Sorry, my room's a fucking mess. Jesus Christ. But you know what? It's okay. It's livable. And I'm pretty sure that none of y'all can talk. So, I'm so sorry. But, listen, let's be real here. Only my friends are watching this, so I know none of y'all can talk. But, yeah, I scrubbed that with a paper towel since it's a little bit, um, grimy and also it's pretty easy to scrub. And I give Tina a little pat on the head even though she didn't like that one. She didn't like that one. She thought I was food for a second. And Gene, as if you can see him, he is in the plant. Let me just give you a little bit of a visual there. I eventually show you a visual of where Gene is. But right now I am searching for Gene in the video like a dumbass because I didn't see him the first time. But he is in the hanging plant. And oh my gosh, Natsu, look at that. You found him. If you can see that little scrunchy green blob is Gene. Hopefully you can see. There he is. Get your fat fingers out of the way, Natsu, please. Let me see my kid. This is me struggling with the grow tent, the Froggy Mansion, because fuck, that thing is so hard sometimes to zip. Because sometimes the zipper does that thing where, like, it stays open on the side that it's supposed to be closed, and then like you see what that's doing. It's not a very good visual, but sometimes it's just so fucking hard to zip. Anyway, this is painful for me to watch through, so I'm pretty sure it's painful for you to watch my what's it called, inadequacy, so I'll just stop it here. And oh my god, look at that. I can get it open now. Um, I don't get into my frog's care, but for white tree frogs, they're kind of a quote unquote dry frog, but they still need some humidity, so I like to still pour in the water at like a height. And this is me feeling pretty accomplished because I did all three of my frog chores that day. Um, yeah, it's pretty sad. But I promise I take good care of my pets. I just don't take good care of me. Anyway, that's me talking to my girlfriend about some shit I don't fucking know. Anyway, go on to Monday. Hi, so it's Monday morning and I'm taking my meds here because I'm
still a piece of garbage.
Yeah, take care of your mental health, people. Take your meds, please. Other than taking care of myself, I still have to take care of my pets. So pretty soon you'll see me checking up on not Kittleby, Alaska, and she is still a lump of dirt. I decided to clean her water bowl because yesterday I did not clean it. So here's me throwing out the paper towel for that and getting the water for that. You know how this all goes by now. Let's check in on Kittleby next. So Kittleby's doing good this morning as per usual, and her water was running low, so I decided to dump it out and give her some fresh water because, you know, animals need fresh water. Yeah, and I decided to scrub it too because that water bowl, it sometimes gets like little bits of harmless algae in it, which is fine, but also like I don't like that. I know it's something they encounter in the wild, but I don't like that, and I don't like the idea that other bacteria might be in there, other microorganisms. So I scrub that, you know, because cleanliness, even though they're wild animals, quote unquote, they're not actually wild animals. Um, Killepie would not survive in the wild, trust me. And here is my roach bin. It's my roach bin. I keep roaches in it. Please do not continue the video if you do not like roaches, because I have plenty. And these are what I feed my frogs. This is my vitamin swirly thingy. It's just an old dubia roach container that I, you know, got an order of dubia roaches in. I usually dump out the last week's vitamins because the last week's vitamins have both calcium and, well, vitamins. And vitamins can accumulate in their body like vitamin A, so I just want to give them calcium today. So I dump it out into the soil of Kittlebee's enclosure, and you know, it helps the isopods, definitely helps with their exoskeletons, the calcium. And I use this Arcadia calcium stuff. I'll put it up somewhere. Yeah. And now I'm just picking up some dubia roaches for the white tree frogs. And at some point, I am a dumbass and put it on my hand. My girlfriend would have absolutely murdered me, and I would deserve it if that thing had gotten loose in the room. Yeah. Yeah, you see that moment right there? Luckily, I got it, so I keep my life for today. And I decided not to do the same dumbass mistake with the next one. And then I give the vitamins a little swirl with the roaches. I like to swirl rather than shake because they're animals too, even if they're just about to be fed to my animals. You know? Kindness for creatures big and small. And this is the Froggy Mansion again. As you can see, Tina's standing there large and proud, big and proud, and oh, she always has the best takedowns. It's so fucking silly. And I give her a pat on the head. I learned my lesson from yesterday. I didn't overdo it. And I am looking for Jean. Jean is also, surprise, surprise, in the plant today. I don't know how I haven't learned my lesson yet, but he is just under Tina. Tina's sitting on him right now in this video. So I just picked her up. a little bit less graciously than I needed to, but that's okay. She's a tough girl, and she's trying to get me right now in the video. She's trying to get my ass. Yeah, you think you can take me, Tina? You think you can take me on? Yeah, it'd be a good lunch, huh? Anyway, I kind of I kind of wipe her off. Yeah. So the way I feed Gene is that I usually stick a card in his mouth, open his mouth that way very gently, stick a roach in. I used to have to um feed him with liquid food, and the reason I don't feed him with liquid food right now is because, well, first of all, the vet said it was okay for me to feed him this way. She looked at his mouth, she said it was good. So, this is vet approved, by the way. But yeah, it's not the best thing. I certainly don't like it. It's definitely kind of uncomfortable for him, so I don't recommend this unless you are really, unless if it's okay with your vet and it's your only chance of giving your frog another chance at life. Because if I didn't mention, he does not eat on his own. He does not eat on his own. So, still trying to get that figured out. Still have thousands of dollars in vet bills racked up so far. So, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with him. The vets don't know what's wrong with him. Trying to save up money for another vet visit at a different vet, and that's just the reality of keeping animals. Really, it breaks your heart sometimes. Hi, so this is me walking home from work. And I really did not want to do my pet chores. I really didn't. I just bed rotted until 9 p.m. And by this time, my lovely girlfriend had turned off the frog lights so that the frogs could go to sleep. But I said, nope, get up, fuckers. You have to eat. So, as you can see, they did. I check in on Leska. I saw that they were not in their hole and I couldn't see them even though they were right in front of me because I'm a dumbass. But their water bowl looks fine. So I didn't clean it and I didn't fill it because it was, already full. And I turn on Kittlepe's Lake because, get up loser, we're eating. That's like the only thing in my Pac-Man's lives, which is natural for them, by the way. But it's not like they move around a lot. They're sit and wait predators. But there's Kittleby. By the way, if you wanted me to do a video on Pac-Man frog care, feel free to comment down below, as cheesy and YouTubery as that might sound. That's like the only way I know what you think. That's why YouTubers say that, even though I'm not really a YouTuber. And then I dig up Kittlepy because he needs to eat. So here are the roaches again. Again, I told you there are going to be a couple of roaches in this video. Um, and I give my Pac-Mans 2 each, so that is a total of 4 if you know basic multiplication. And I give my little thing a swirl. Again, I like to be gentle with the roaches that I'm about to feed to my Pac-Mans or frogs, even though they're about to be killed in, as you will see, gruesome ways. Like, oh boy. This upcoming clip, if you're squeamish, feel free to skip it. I'll put a timestamp somewhere. But yeah, I decided to put my phone, which is my camera, in Kittleby's tank because I thought this could be a fun little like POV sort of stitch. One thing that I do especially with my Pac-Man frogs is kind of like rub their nose gently with the roach, but clearly Kittleby wasn't ready. She was still swallowing. By the way, frogs need to facilitate swallowing by closing their eyes. Their eyeballs kind of push it down their throat. Some nerdy ass frog facts for you. Do you see why I say that she can't survive in the wild? Like she can barely aim. I'm so sorry, but she cannot. Look at her. Look at her. And this is the gory part that I mentioned. It's icky. I know. It's just naturally what happens. But yeah. And then I go to feed Laska. who is sitting right in front of the camera, just behind a leaf. Like, I can't believe I didn't see her earlier, but I do now. So I just moved the leaf because for your guys' viewing pleasure, and she eats some dirt. I love these frogs to death, but they are not very intelligent. And you'll see that Laska actually mistook the big 12-inch tong as her meal. Again, these frogs aren't very intelligent. I love them. They're so cute, and I spend so much money on their vet bills. But intelligence isn't one of their strong suits, besties. It really isn't. Here, you can observe me just trying to gently shake Leska. Shake sounds terrible, but really, I'm just trying to, like, get her to let go on her own. And look, she did not. She, in fact, swallowed more of it. What will I do with her? What will I do with her? Oh my god. As you can see, I eventually got her off the tongs. And then I go and turn the frog lights off, and I look so proud of myself until disaster strikes. Laska was actually taken to the vet that night. Um, I noticed while during the feeding mild, like, edema, which is like liquid under the skin, and these are all the vet notes that I'm showing you, and you know, she got some antibiotics. The vet thinks that she's gonna make it. I know firsthand how quickly these guys can decline, all jokes aside. So, we're just hoping and praying, but I think we're gonna be fine. The next clip may look confusing to you. It is the next day. I put Kiropi in a critter keeper the same day as Laska, and the reason I did that was because I thought I was going to my normal vet and I could bring in Kiropi's stool sample while I was having a panic attack about Laska, but that did not happen. I went to an emergency vet. Still think it worked out. I did feed Tina and Jean on this day. However, I saw some redness on Jean's legs, and as he is not eating, I am very wary of his health. Red can be a sign of sepsis or red leg. So I quarantined him for the night and also to atone for his sins in Froggy Jail. This clip is of me giving Laska his antibiotic. He doesn't need a card to open his mouth because one, he still has an appetite, and two, because his jaw is not thin like a white tree frog's. Like, Pac-Man frogs have, like, beaks almost. So, I didn't need to pry his mouth open for that. And he is so mad there. He's so mad. He's so angry at me. He wants to get my ass. I walked home from work, as per usual, and then I checked in on Alaska, who made a little burrow in his paper towel. Today is Thursday, which is a Pac-Man frog feeding day. They are Tuesday and Thursday. But today, I put in vitamins in with the food. This is a multivitamin, Rapashi Reptivite, and I already took out the roaches, because you don't need to see me taking out the roaches every single time, right? I also checked Kittlebee's legs to see if it was something with my care that was causing it or could be causing it. Because, if there's something wrong with my Pac-Man frog husbandry, then both Pac-Man frogs should have symptoms. At least that works in my mind. Even though the vet said my husbandry was pretty good, I still wanted to double check. And Kittlebee, thank God, is fine. Yep, she is still eating as normal. I play really fast and loose with these frog pronouns, huh? But they're still eating as normal and they're chill. So luckily today Laska did not decide to try and eat a set of tongs that is bigger than his body. I am so happy about that because I think that stresses me out more than it does him. So here he is happily eating a roach in his little paper towel burrow. I am keeping him on a sterile surface because as much as I love bioactives, they are not as sterile as paper towel, and I know that he can't burrow and have as much fun and be have natural behaviors and that, but if he needs antibiotics, I don't want other bacteria, you know, even if it's natural, coming into his system. You get what I mean? So I am checking in on the white tree frogs, especially since I had a little health scare, as you saw with Jean. Um, I just changed out the water and cleaned out the dirt. That's all you really need to do. Yup. And so I gave Laska his antibiotics again. I'm supposed to give him one dose every 24 hours. I can't think off the top of my head how many doses he has left, but he's already getting better. He was already getting better at this point while filming this clip. The next morning, I checked in on Leska. He's looking very grumpy. He is, doing his instinctual burrowing behaviors into the paper towel. Makes me feel bad that I can't support his instinctual burrowing behaviors at the moment, but what can I do? I changed the paper towel for him so that it remains a sterile environment, and, you know, he wasn't very happy about me pouring water on him, but that paper towel needs to remain moist because he's a frog. He needs to remain moist. I checked in on Keropi. I do not feed the Pac-Man frogs on Fridays. I feed the White's tree frogs, actually, which you will see on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So this is me just doing my little swirly thing with my swirly cup. And you will see the Belchers soon, once again, for their final feeding of the week, since I don't do any feedings on weekends. This is Tina, of course. You all know her very well, large and in charge. And I moved the snake plant out of the way, and because she was in food mode, she ended up, as you can see here, trying to get the snake plant. Yup, there she is. And this fucking frame just cracks me up. Like, look at her. What is she doing? What on earth is she doing? So, I just fed her like usual. She always has the silliest little takedowns when she eats. Jean is on this little titty looking thing. Um, this is him after he's been fed. I have my own reasons for not filming his feedings on camera. It's just stressful for me to put that, like, focus on filming it. But anyway, I just clean out the water bowl, and I don't wipe it down this time because there's no dirt in it, and it doesn't need to be wiped down every single time I clean it out. Um, you know, I'd rather make life a little bit easier on myself while keeping quality of life for my frogs. I am just doing some belly checks on Laska and Keropi here, and Laska is, as you might be able to see, in the picture that follows, is looking so much better. The antibiotics are really doing wonders. I really do think it was more of a bacterial thing. So I will definitely follow up with my vet about that, like try to see what the cause was, if anything. But Kidopy is also looking fine, so I'm not sure if it's husbandry or something that I'm doing. Maybe it's something to do with Leska's health, or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I'm glad I could end this video on a happy note. So I decided not to do Saturday because, it's a lot like Sunday. It's very repetitive, and I didn't feel like doing that. Um, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, whatever the fuck YouTubers say, and have a great day. Love your animals. Okay?